The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondell.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stage Door Show. Tonight, this is Dave Hondell. My guest tonight is a rising Broadway star at the age of 12. He starred alongside Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster in The Music Man on Broadway, and recently ended a run as Oliver in New York City Center Encores. We're thrilled to have with us on the show Benjamin Pajak. Thank you for being with us, Benjamin.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you with us, and just ended two very big productions on Broadway, and The Music Man and Oliver. And I know anybody, no matter what their age, it's a huge commitment, not only personally but professionally. But at the age of 12, obviously, you have to have a strong support circle. So talk about that support circle that you have with your family and your theater community.
Yeah, I have so many people on my side. My mom, she's like my caretaker. She's like my personal bodyguard. And then I have my wonderful coaches, my acting coach, Keith Grummett, my voice coach, Dan Thaler. I just have so many people supporting me, and like my family, I can't even forget about them. I have so many people on my side, and not even including people on Instagram and my fans and everybody who follows my career. And I'm just so happy for everyone to be on this ride with me. And I am incredibly blessed with everyone that is here with me.
Well, that's incredible. And it definitely shows, Benjamin. And, I know just getting the role of Winthrop Peru and The Music Man and being able to star alongside the likes of Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster. That's got to be a dream for you. And, kind of take us through that process, the audition process, and how you got the role.
Yeah, definitely. My mom, it was actually really funny. My mom found this open call for Music Man on Facebook, and she just like, "Hey, Benjamin, you want to go to New York this weekend and audition for this?" And I was like, "Sure, let's try it." And I must have listened to the song Gary, Indiana on Apple Music 25 million times. And went to New York. 4 callbacks later, yeah, I got the job, and I was like, "What? Me? You want me?" I waited 2 years, didn't think it was gonna happen, and then I walked into the theater for the first time, and I was like, "This is it. We're here. I can't believe it."
That's incredible. And just to get to that point, obviously you have to work very hard and to rehearse and to practice a lot. And, did you do a lot of productions prior to that, like in school or community theater, to kind of get you ready for something like this?
Yeah, there was a lot of regional productions. I started doing my first well, first of all, I start every weekend, me and my mom, we would go and see Broadway shows. And I saw Finding Neverland. Finding Neverland was my first one. Cats was my second. And Phantom of the Opera was my third. And that was when I really fell in love with Broadway. And I told my mom, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be, and, what I want to do when I'm older. And I was saying this when I was 5 years old, and my mom was like horrified and like, huh? So I started doing some regional stuff around me in near Union County, where I was based in New Jersey. And my first role was Winnie the Pooh, and I played Tigger. And from there, I just started doing some more things from there. And a couple years later, I found out about the open call.
Wow. And take us through that first time walking on that Broadway stage and seeing the audience looking back at you and performing in front of, and I don't know what you see up there. Maybe you only see the first couple of rows, but just knowing that there's, over, 1,000 or 2,000 people in the, watching you do your performance and alongside the, like I said, Hugh and Sutton. Take us through that feeling when you first walked out there the first time.
Right. I remember the first show, it was a completely different feeling than the last show. But the first show, when I first walked on and I was making my way up to the house, I saw the audience out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, this is it. I'm doing a Broadway show. Focus in and just do the best performance of your entire life.
Right.
And when I said my first line, and I got a laugh, I was like, let's do it. We're right into it. And I remember that first feeling, and it was just such a thrill of joy to be able to do that for like 1,500 people every night. And it was a completely different feeling of joy on the last show, but it was such a fun run.
Did you do every night or every show, 8 shows a week, or did you split it with somebody?
So originally I was supposed to split it with someone because of child labor laws. But then Equity, I don't know if like Equity updated their thing or something. I don't even know what happened, but I did 8 shows a week. I did all 8.
Wow. And talk about that because, I think people don't realize that, you're a human being and sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes we have good days. And, sometimes you might not, always be feeling it when you go to the theater, but those people that buy that ticket,
Right.
they don't know that, right? So you have to perform the same way. So for our new, listeners out there, people that are actors, talk about the importance of performing like it's the first time, right?
I mean, you never know. You might be having a bad day, but then there also might be someone who comes to the theater that very same day to have some joy if they're having a bad day. And during Music Command, I know I had a number of days where I definitely wasn't feeling like I wanted to do a show. But the theater is my happy place, and it is for so many other people, and especially when you get to have that experience to, make people feel that joy and take them on that ride with you, and forget about whatever's happening in their life, was just a pleasure. And I just, acting is really my passion, and I love doing that every night.
And you also did Oliver. You played Oliver in the New York City Encores. And for anybody that goes to the New York City Center Encores, I mean, this is a big deal. And, I used to go to that when I lived in the city as well. And I used to really enjoy the productions that were put on. And these are by, Broadway professionals like yourself. And, they're great shows. So talk about the experience of playing Oliver in the Encore series.
Definitely. I mean, it was such a beautiful production. I mean, so many people, I heard so many great things about it, but it was just, Oliver, I feel like was the show that we needed at this time. It was if for those of you who don't know, Oliver is based on an orphan child in like 1920s, I guess, or
Sure.
19 like something like that. But it's based on him coming from a workhouse to going to finding this other orphan man who teaches him how to pick pockets, and then going to this rich family. And Lear DeBassinet, who's now a Tony nominee and just won the Drama Desk Award, congrats to her.
Yeah.
She just had that feel for it and wanted to show Oliver as he went through London that his goal was to show everyone that there can be love even in dark times.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone just needed that now, and Oliver was just an amazing. It was so fun to play on that stage.
Oh, well said, Benjamin, and great performance. I watched a lot of YouTube videos of you singing in rehearsals as well, and it just was very, very emotional, and just brought chills to my spine. So great work on that. Just great work.
Thank
Just
you.
a great performer. I know that you also won the Young Entertainers Award for Best Commercial 2022. So talk about that.
I was in the middle of I wasn't in the middle I was in the middle of a performance. It was right as the music started to start act 2, and Crystal, one of the Guardians, told me that I had won the Young Entertainer Awards. I was like,
Wow.
No, huh? Right before I went on, and I was like, I went on the stage feeling so happy that I was like,
Yeah.
let's do this dance more energetic today.
Right. Well, that's awesome.
I mean, and it was such a fun feeling to
Yeah.
Everyone was like, wait, what? Wait, this is so exciting. Wait, what's happening? We didn't even know this. And I was like so humbled. Everyone started coming up to me and saying congratulations. I was like, I never really got that experience before, and
Yeah.
everyone was so incredibly nice to me in that moment, and I felt almost like a rush of just like happiness that I didn't want to leave that day. I just wanted to stay there and be with my friends, and my mom, we just like celebrated at home, ate ice cream, and went to bed and crashed.
There you go. That's the best kind of way to celebrate.
Yeah.
After shows, Benjamin, I know that, I've been to several stage doors, and that's the name of our show, obviously, the Stage Door Show. But, talk about the excitement, exhilaration of walking out the stage door to screaming fans and people that want to you get your autograph on their playbill and talk to you. So how exciting is that for you as a Broadway entertainer?
Definitely. I mean, every day coming out of the stage door, everyone just started cheering I would come out with all the other kids and they started cheering for us. And it was just, sometimes he would sneak out with us. He'd be like, he'd crouch down and pretend to be one of the kids and start screaming. And they were like, hey, they're cheering for us. Definitely not Hugh Jackman over there.
Yeah,
Wait,
right.
what? And it was just, I mean, and especially when I would have like people, because I played Winthrop and he had a lisp because speech impediment.
Sure.
Especially meeting those people with disabilities and just being able to portray that on stage and show them, well, you don't have to be afraid. You can come out even if you have disabilities and like show the world, like, even though I have this problem, it doesn't mean I can't be like you.
Right.
And it was meeting those people and meeting everyone else it was just fun every day. And it was almost kind of like my own little entertainment show to meet these people.
I saw, speaking of Hugh Jackman, I saw a great video that I believe he sent to Tom Brady, and he had a surprise for you. And I love that video. So take our listeners through that, because I want everybody to pull that up.
And you get the Tom Brady jersey, mommy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah, don't mind my personal bodyguard here.
That was
me my
awesome.
Tom Brady jersey.
Talk about that.
Oh, I remember that day. Oh yeah, I can actually go through this with the jersey. So I remember it was March 24th. It was March 24th. 2020, 2023.
He remembers.
It was March 24th, 2022. And Hugh Jackman called me to his office, I like to call it, because I was so scared. When Hugh Jackman calls you to his dressing room, it's like, I gotta be on my best behavior. I gotta impress the man, right?
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is just like, be yourself. But anyway, he calls me in for my birthday. I'm like, oh no. Because he would get everyone, what was it called? He would get everyone, and I mean everyone, for their birthday, HomePods, which is like $1 million, and that just shows like the generosity he has to everyone. But Hugh, somehow, he told me the story of how him and Tom, became great friends over the pandemic, over Instagram. And for my birthday, Hugh and like some of his other friends somehow made it so that way they could get me this.
Wow, look, there it is.
For my birthday. So
how awesome is that? What does it say?
So it says, Benjamin, happy birthday. Good luck. Best always. And Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, wow. How cool is that?
And it was just, there's the video on my Instagram, or in like, you'll find it somewhere.
Yeah.
Search up Hugh Jackman giving Benjamin Pajak Tom Brady jersey. It should come up.
Yeah.
I remember that feeling. I was like,
wow, unforgettable.
That's my first ever like real authentic signed thing. And I was like, how?
Cool. What a great gift. Great experience, great gift. And who knows when you'll be maybe sharing the screen or the stage with Hugh Jackman again. So just amazing.
I'd love that. Well, reunited at last.
At last, right, exactly. On this show, Benjamin, we celebrate new artists, and like we talked about before, and independent performers that love to hear from professionals like yourself, and some of the lessons that you might have learned so far in your early career. But what's the biggest lesson that you could talk about with our listeners to that you've learned so far, and maybe something that they can also learn before getting into this industry, or on their way to this industry? Because I know there's a lot of different pitfalls. There's a lot of things that you have to learn, and how to be on set, how to treat people, but what's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
Definitely. I mean, everyone in the business is just so kind. And I feel like that's the number one thing that everyone has to have on Broadway. or in and TV on during readings and anything. And Hugh, going back to Hugh and Sutton and Raoul and Lily and Pam, they all had that feeling of like they always would ask me how I was if I wasn't feeling okay, if I was sad, if I wasn't having a good day. They'd always check up on me. They always talk to me. They'd always make me feel like the most important person there. They did that, and they do that for everyone. They do it to the ushers, to everyone in the pit, and they just make everyone feel so happy. And during Music Man, I started to model more of my senses and my humor, my everyday kind of interactions off of them. And they were just the best leaders, and they taught me that lesson of just to be the nicest person you can.
That is, that's so well said. And everybody that's been either in a, TV show, a movie, Broadway, everybody that I interview, that's the one thing I think that's the common denominator in being successful is being a good person to everybody that you come in contact with. So that's very well said, Benjamin. And I appreciate that advice for our listeners. Also, there's one question I like to ask people too. And what's the one big moment that, so far in your career that you've looked back on and it always makes you smile? What's that one big moment for you?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, there definitely were a lot of crazy things that made me smile, and a lot of just calm and nice things that were just they brought warmth to my heart. I mean, one of those being the Tom Brady one. That was like crazy excitement. It's another one. I mean, walking onto the stage for the last time, and also hands off to everyone who came to see Music Man and Oliver too, because whenever anyone would step on stage, they just applaud us, and I was like, okay, thank you, but I don't need it. I'm not that important. So one of the moments was like stepping onto the Broadway stage for the last time, having that rush of just excitement and thrill and happiness. Another moment was stepping into the city center and just seeing that because I'd never been there before.
Right.
And just seeing that. Yeah. And it's like being there, it felt everyone else who's been there, like some of the amazing greats have been there on Broadway, and it was an honor to be there. It was fun to see. It's fun. It was really, really scary to see Where Is Love all over Instagram. Especially when people were just kept on coming to my page. It was a crazy moment for me. But there were so many moments that just make me feel that I can't even say because there's so many that, random people just come up to me and say, "Hey, you're Benjamin Pajak, and I love your stuff." And I don't even know what to say. They make me speechless.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, and you're definitely grounded. You stay grounded. And again, that comes from your support circle, and, kudos to your support circle for helping keep you grounded like that. 'Cause it's so important. Just
looking at your mom.
Yeah. Your mom's amazing. By the way, just working with her, just setting up this interview. So again, thank you to your mom, Karen.
You're pretty cool.
Benjamin, when it's all said and done, years down the road, obviously, because you're 12, but years down the road, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to walk away with when they think of Benjamin Pajak?
I think I really want them to just think of me as, I think that, I don't know, because there's so many things that I would want people to think of me as like having a good voice, acting, but I think just being the nicest, the kindest, and the most loving person that you would ever want to work with. And I think it doesn't really matter about talent. It just is. I mean, there's some people out there who are crazy good and kind, and, everyone wants to be like them. I think the most important thing that comes first is just being the nicest person ever.
That's a great legacy and very well said again. Benjamin, just a pleasure to have you on, and let's talk about where people can find you on social media so they can connect with you.
Definitely. News. My Instagram got deleted today. So we're trying to get it back. If not, we're going to try and start it again. So you guys might be able to find me on Instagram sometime soon. I also have a website, benjaminpajak.com. All the reels and stuff will be on there. And I also have a Facebook. And again, I'm trying to get Instagram back up and running. But for now, that's it.
Yeah. Well, check out benjaminpajak.com, and we'll put that on our site as well, our Instagram and Facebook and all the others. So, just amazing to speak with you, Benjamin. Just you have so much to look forward to in your career, and we're hoping to be a part of that. So check in with us often and let us know if there's anything new coming up. We'd love to have you on again. And everybody, all the listeners out there, make sure you check out his YouTube as well. Just search his name, you'll see some great videos, and the Tom Brady one is on there on YouTube as well. But Benjamin, thank you again, and again, thanks to your mother, and best success for you in the future. And you're always welcome back on the show.
I'd love to be back here sometime soon.
All right, thank you, Benjamin.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.